Alright, hey, it's Fran at the big table, and this is my Gretsch White Falcon. It's so big, I've got to do a special setup just to photograph this, but I got to do some work on this. I love this guitar, but it does have a few issues. It's been worked on a bit. You know, I got it third hand. It has some history that I can see just examining the guitar. For example, discovered that at some point the neck had been cracked because it looks like it's been reseated. There's a minute little hair crack, but it's been filled in. There's evidence on the back where the little bonding, you see a little defect there. It's been re-glued at some point. Also, the original bridge, this originally would have had maybe a hardtail, but it's got this really great Bigsby. I particularly like this flat paddle on the tremolo. I really spent a lot of time searching for a White Falcon that did have the correct, period tremolo on it. The original bridge, though, has been replaced. All right. This is the original Gretsch bridge, and it's really ornery. See right here, it's got thumb set screws for the intonations, which is horrible right at the beginning. I can't imagine how a design like this got through process. Obviously it's it has to get committees have to approve, but this is just a terrible design. To hold down the intonation just with finger tight on a thumb screw, and why would you even want to set the intonation like all the time? And also these sort of Bakelite saddles, they're chipped up and broken up just from use. A few of them, I tried filing them out, but it's just really problematic. So at some point early on, someone replaced this bridge with a Tune-o-matic type right here. I like the idea of the rolling saddles, but the problem is that the White Falcon, it's got a rather narrow fret radius. It's like the 10.5 inches, 10.5 inches, maybe 11 inches. But this particular bridge, it's meant for a much more relaxed fret radius, and so it doesn't have nearly enough arc to meet up with the fretboard. And so even with my best settings for the center two strings, as far as height goes, the outer strings really float. So it's got this really funky action where it's just, it's not ideal for playability. So I searched far and wide for some kind of a rolling bridge that would meet up with this fret radius, and found that Schaller made a bridge. It's really the only option that has a nice curve to it, really nice arch. It should meet up with this fret radius. Also, these are adjustable in the width, so the individual saddles, they're actually on threads, so you can slide them left and right. I'm not sure how this is going to work in practice with the idea that it's a tremolo bridge, so as the strings are going over, if you end up with slippage on the saddle will gradually move more and more one direction. I'll probably have to keep after that. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out, but the intonations on this are set on the side the way they're really supposed to be, so that once you have it set, it's not going to wander. And it's a very nice, beautiful bridge, very efficient, very clean on the top. Nothing sharp here on the end to scratch my hand when I'm resting my palm on it. That's a big plus. I've currently had to drop a little nut on top of this bridge just so I'm not scraping up my palm on the open, exposed thread on that post. So but I want to drop this bridge in here. So in order to do that, the intonation's already set. And so what I've done is I've got the guitar in tune, and I'm going to mark on the top of the strings where the intonations for each saddle are currently set, and then I'm going to detune the guitar so I can slide the bridge out, put the new bridge in, and then retension the strings, and when I get it in tune, you know, I'll adjust the saddles to line up with those dots. That's my method I'm going to try here. So number one is to mark where the saddles are currently with a Sharpie. Hopefully that'll work. I'm going to detune. See the dots on the strings. Okay, you can see the dots on the strings. So far so good. I really like this sort of ebony, you know, nice arched stand. I don't know how standards are going to be. I do have new posts that come with this bridge. I'm hoping I can just use the ones that are already in here. If not, I'll have to work out some way of swapping out for new, but let's just see if I can make this work. Those are actually, those are actually fixed. Looks like there's a detent in there. I don't like that. It's the nitro lacquer is discolored underneath the saddle, under those stands. Yeah, they're, yep, there they are. Man, look at all those chips. Yeah, there's a pin there. A lot of junk under there. Alright, so that's actually nitrocellulose. I can tell this molding here, it's nitro. So, nitro on nitro. Yeah, makes it a little unstable. So, too. I can smell the camphor-like smell of disintegrating nitrocellulose. Those are nitro, alright. Like a little raised area to go into the inside of the bridge right there. Yeah, this is going to be an issue. So I have to drill that through to let that screw go through, and oh, that's a big pain in the butt. Big pain in the butt. I'm roughly putting the intonations, kind of just eyeballing it to get them kind of where the originals were. So I just put them up against each other and kind of eyeballed just a starting point for the intonations, and for the string separation, I'm going to do the same thing. It's kind of just we'll just start with that. But yeah, these. Well, okay. Just gonna see what we got here. Those have to be trimmed. I mean, I could do it, but these posts would have to be cut. I have to cut them down if I'm going to use these. Yeah, I'm either going to have to drill holes through there to let the posts up through, or cut the posts out. Because I can't change out this. I'm either going to have to drill out these holes to allow these posts to go through, or I'm going to have to remove these studs and chop them just to allow enough of the stud to go into the hole, and then so I can set that in there. Yeah, I really didn't want to have to drill it out. But then of course I know this is going to be too long, so that's going to be sticking me and I'll have to, yeah, so this is going to need some modification. There's no way that I can use these studs because I would have to pull that out and then re-tap this nitro piece, and then that would be too long anyway to go through, be tapping into the body. So best case scenario is to modify these. So yeah, so you have to take, rather than re-tapping this nitro block, best thing is to just cut off the top end of these. That way that'll just basically just sit, it'll sit on that. Yeah, that roller then will go up into the recess. Yeah. So I got my, this is a thread cutter. It'll do like small bolts like number 4, number 6. I've even go as much as number 10, but it's got a threaded end on one side of the cutter and an open end on the other, and so I'm able to spin it in, and I've already taken some measurements, so I'll be able to dike this off pretty much just where I need it. Alright, so I should be able to dink that, and then I got the nut there already on it to get the burr off. We'll just have to see how this goes. Alright. Alright, yeah. It worked. Got the dinged off just about the right length, and I gotta just, there we go, there, yep. There's the end of it. These things really work well. Alright, so let's move on. Yeah. Yep, it works. It's in there, and should go just the height a little bit. Just looking at the height of the string here. It looks like I hit that just on. So that's, yeah, it's going to be just right for height, and it's still registered, so alright, that worked for one side. I just have to do the other. Alright, yeah. Two little scraps, and dinged off the other one. This one, I made this one a little longer just because of the way the other bridge fit, and I did double check that both of these bridges, they both have exactly the same height from the base to the top of the center saddle, so the alignments, it should work out. So oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Alright. It works. It works! Yeah. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is adjust the string, adjust the saddles for string separation. I'm going to use just kind of eyeball it, and also I'm looking at the fretboard over here to look for, the spacing of the strings. I'm going to change there. Very critical having the strings the right distance from the outside of the fretboard. And I'm looking at that all the way down. So the way this was set up before, this bottom post was off kilter, and so the intonations were set out further, but I'm going to make this much more even. Just bring the saddles back. Just going to get some tension on the strings, just so I can get them up off the fretboard. Okay, there we go. And just eyeballing it, I can see that the string heights are all very, very even, so this is perfect arch for this fretboard. It's already so much better. So much better. Alright, so now I'm going to eyeball where I put those markings pretty close. I must say. Alright, so it's hard doing this upside down and backwards. Okay, so now, intonation's 9, that one's right on. 2. Off. Alright. Suppose our intonations are eyeballed. Alright, well, that's it for this one. A little bit of work to do, some fine-tuning. I gotta take it into the room, I gotta play it, break it in, do minor adjustments and stuff, and I'll probably have to adjust the intonations a little bit here and there as I play it, but it's pretty much done. The bridge is in, and it's already an improvement, so I look forward to tweaking this and getting it just right. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Thanks, too, to all my patrons down on the Patreon. Thank you, all my patrons, for making all these videos possible. I wouldn't be able to do this without my patrons. Not even a project like this. So thank you. Friend, I'll be back, over there on the bench doing something real soon. Bye! In the lab. That's where I work. In the lab. Go berserk. In my lab. That's where I work. That's what you're watching. Friend love. That's what I'm doing. Working at the bench again. I'm Fran.